righty, welcome into the Whatcom County Football Podcast. I am your host, Ryland Spencer. It is episode 43. Along with me, Tyler Anderson from Whatcom Preps. And along with us also this week is head coach Kevin Beason of Sehome High School. Coach, how are we doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Ron.
First off, Friday night, do you know who you would have been playing right now?
Linden, up there. Yep.
So a nice little trip up the road to Rolly DeCoster Field. And have you coached up there? You guys played them, I think, last year, right? Or was it the year before?
Yeah, I haven't coached a high school game there. I coached a few youth games over the years, but it's kind of funny you mentioned that. Blake texted a picture to me today with the field and said it looks great and would have been nice to be doing pregame warm-ups right about now. So we all miss it very much.
With no football, what does a Friday night look like for you right now?
Lifting, working out, trying to find something to stay active, and just watching a lot of football if I can somewhere. I mean, I'll watch high school game, college game from anywhere. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, I think we're all probably in that same boat right now. Coach, before you took over at Sehome, this is the spring will be your fourth season, so you've coached 3 full seasons there. Sehome was 0-10, and kind of, I mean, just say it. There were some rough times at Sehome. You're an alum. What made you decide to take the Sehome job?
That's a great question. I think I had thought about it previously when it was available, and really could not convince myself that I was qualified for the position at all. And maybe a second time around, after some considerate thought and a lot of discussion with my family about what would be required of me time-wise and the commitment, I just really could not pass up the opportunity to help support and my alma mater. I mean, I have so many fond memories of playing football at Sehome and what that meant to me, the friendships that were made over the years. And I just felt a strong desire to come in and help repair that program. So.
That's awesome. You brought up playing at Sehome, and you played before you were at Sehome. You were at Meridian High School, and for a year. And what was your first impression of Mr. Bob Ames?
He intimidated the heck out of me. He really did. He had a presence about him, but it was all very good and very strong, It was, I got kind of shaking a little bit. Yes, sir. But it was all good, though. He was very, very vested. You could tell he cared so much about the program and the kids. And he took time to bring some of the upperclassmen down and to show us as freshmen what some of the techniques that we want to try and get better at and work on, and it was that was very special, and it was a great experience. Love him.
After him, of course, you transferred to Sehome. You played for Terry Cavender and you played for John Custer. What are some things that you've taken from those 2 coaches that you use today?
I think both Terry and John would both see that football is really, if all we do is win a few football games, then we're kind of missing the bigger picture, with high school football. I think that both of those men saw that what we're doing is we're in the business of developing leadership in our chosen communities through the game of football. And they both, I feel very strongly that both cared about me as a player beyond what I could do for a Friday night, And so I really appreciate that, both men. I hope that we as a program can continue that legacy to a degree.
Coach, when you were in high school, you actually played against Philadelphia Eagles head coach Doug Peterson. Do you have any Doug Peterson stories, or what was it like playing against him? And I think maybe even more importantly, from a Whatcom County perspective, his teammate, Donnie Finkbonner, a guy that we talk about. Seems like every week we mention Donnie Finkbonner's name. You got any stories of those 2 guys?
Well, the only stories I might have is trying to chase them down and miss tackles. I mean, they're both very, very good. The Vic Randolph program, at that point in time, they were so very well prepared, and that 4-4 defense cranked up, and they ran it very well. And they just did a great job of putting their athletes in position to be effective. And I think they had a strong identity for the program, And you knew what you're going to get. And if you didn't stop it, and you're going to be on for a long night, But Doug was just a very accomplished quarterback, basketball level, could run and pass. And Donnie was just a very electric running back, and defensive back. So they were probably a joy to watch as a fan, but as somebody trying to stop it was very frustrating.
Coach, you played at Western Washington University, across the street almost. You were an All-American center, so obviously I have a lot of respect for you.
Pretty lean year though. So
I also know that you're part of the effort to bring back the program. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had engaged that for a number of years, trying to bring the program back to Western.
When you think about it, what are some things that need to be done to try to make something like that happen? I think it's a very valuable thing to not only the kids of Whatcom County, but Western Washington kind of in general. I mean, even all the way down, I played with a guy, I mentioned it to you earlier, Jake McLean. There was so many guys from the Seattle area that just drove right up I-5 to Bellingham to play at Western Washington. Is there anything, do you think there's anything that could be done at this point?
Well, I think there's a huge void in college football in the state of Washington without Western Washington fielding the team. There really is. For opportunities for student athletes, I think on campus, socioeconomic and cultural diversity suffers as a result of no program on campus right now. I think what it's going to take is an administration that is vested and sees the value in bringing the program back to Western beyond the cost, because all programs at that level, they cost money to facilitate and operate, but you're not doing it for revenue. You do it to develop student athletes, to improve your socioeconomic and cultural diversity on campus. And so I hope that one day there will be an administration on campus that will see that and then act upon it and do
it. Coach, the most important question of the day, what are you maxing now on the bench?
What on the bench? Well, not as much I did when I was 20, but I don't want to talk about numbers, but it's not too far off those numbers right now. I made a goal for myself to press 400 again before Dad leaves for college, and I'm going to reach that goal.
That's awesome. Which leads me to my next question. If you throw all the Whatcom County head coaches into the octagon, are you winning that? Are you winning that fight?
No. Coach Lepic come in and toss me around a little bit. It wouldn't even be funny,
I know. I was thinking him, but Patrick Ames is pretty put together too, and Nick Lucy will be climbing the walls, and there's some big dudes. You never know.
That'd be fun.
Van Dalen would be the first one out, though.
Maybe instead of the octagon, we'll just do an Oklahoma draw. That'd be kind of fun.
Hey.
Oh.
Now you're speaking my language. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you think? 5 names?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go 5
names.
Well,
I do have a little game for him, but if you want to do that now or later, I'm not sure.
Well, your choice. You want to go now?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, Coach. I know you watched some of these previous ones, and if you watched the interview with Coach Lepper, I had a little fun with him, played a little game with him. I have a similar game for you.
Okay.
So if you're ready, it's called the coach's game. So, which assistant coach that you have on your staff right now has been with the Sehome program for over 40 years, coaching multiple sports?
Oh, Monty Walton.
Monty Walton. Okay, yeah. You got that one right. They get harder.
Okay.
Which assistant that you have right now played high school football at Linden Christian?
Oh, Terp.
Yeah, Greg Terpstra. Which high school teammate of yours is a head coach in Whatcom County?
Which high school teammate of mine is a head coach?
I think it might be a little older than you.
Older than me. Wow. Oh, Rob Meyer. Sorry, yeah.
Well, he was a college teammate.
Oh, college.
There was a high school teammate.
High school teammate.
I'm almost positive he might have been a senior when you were a sophomore.
He's not a sophomore.
I'm hoping I'm getting this right.
You know? Oh, Jamie. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Plenko. Jeez. Yeah. Terrible. I should have known that. My wife bailed me out.
Yeah.
You know what, Tyler, you're gonna have to ask that same question when we have Plankovich on the show. We'll have to ask
There
it
you
the
go.
opposite way.
Right. Which assistant of yours right now played high school football at Linden? I'm not sure if he's still an assistant. I mean, he's been a volunteer coach last few years.
At Linden,
Yeah.
volunteer coach for the last couple of years. Wow. Volunteer coach for the last couple of years, huh?
Mm-hmm. I have a good hint for you, but I don't want to give it away. If you need the hint, I'll let you know.
Well, I think I'm going through my list of volunteers right now, and yeah, give me a hint. Yeah.
Okay. His son played for you.
Well, Sean? No,
No.
not Sean. His son plays for us right now, or
No, he just graduated in 2020.
just graduated. Wow.
This
Why
is
am I
gonna be the
spacing
one
that?
where Tyler's wrong.
Huh? It's Dawson's dad, Phil. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Phil Smith. The next question was that you answered earlier. Which college teammate is a head coach in Whatcom County?
Okay,
Rob
Rob.
Meyer.
Yeah.
And this is the bonus one. This will be tough, I think. Which person was a high school teammate of yours? I believe it was a year younger than you, and is now an assistant coach at another school in Whatcom County. This might be tough.
That
This
is
tricky.
on Squalicum staff, I believe.
Yeah.
And it is, okay, so you see the face. His son one of his sons played at Baker for some time, actually. Why can't I place the name?
Got him stumped.
I know.
You
I feel
do.
bad.
Tyler's like, what water boy in 1964 had a son?
Oh. It's Daryl Tochtekin.
Stockton, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my little fun game, but I tried to come up with something interesting.
That's a good one, man. You got good one.
You know what,
Yeah.
Tyler? You're 2 for 2 in this. You
Yeah.
you had Coach Lepper on the ropes. I mean, you wheeled him, you dealed him, and you took him to task.
Yeah.
Let's go 5 names. How about that, Tyler?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Coach. So we're going to give you 5 names. Well, I'll give you 5 names. And for each one, give me, 5-10 seconds, kind of what is the first thing that kind of comes to mind when you think of this person? All right.
Yep.
Jay Reyna.
Jay Reyna, athletic specimen, length, athleticism. To have his size and speed, and length and speed, and to be able to do the things he could, just no question he belonged to Pac-12. So.
Ron Lepper.
Ron Lepper, mentor, just rock solid, a guy who has done a great job of developing an identity for his program.
Jeff Wood.
Jeff Wood. Jeff is a great presence for us on campus. He is so vested in our kids and sees the value in football and what it means for developing young athletes.
Chris Kriskovich.
Chris Kriskovich, my former quarterback at Western, knows me like few do.
Yes.
No,
That is.
Crisco's great. I love Crisco. There are a few times at practice where we would switch jerseys. I come out wearing the little 12 jersey tucked up under my shoulder pads. He's wearing my big center jersey. So I love Kirk. Kirk's a natural leader. He really is, and he had the physical tools to play quarterback as well. Love him.
Last one, Jacob Kaepernick.
Cap is another just physically gifted athlete who is a great leader as well. I think kids gravitate towards him because of his ability to respond to adversity, and I think great things are in store for him no matter what he chooses to do in his adult life.
We will transition now. We'll talk a little bit about your team, some of the guys on your team, and I think the young man you just talked about, Jacob Kaepernick, we would almost be stupid if we didn't talk about Tim Mallow first. Let let's one tremendous athlete, tremendous student. What is there to know about Tim Mallow that we don't see when you talk about, we know the numbers, we know the athleticism, we know, academically he is unfreaking believable. What is there to know about Tim Mallow that we don't already know?
I think, as most programs, we have our set of expectations for our players and our staff in terms of how we're to carry ourselves in the name of our program, in our community, on the field, in the classroom, and at school, and core covenants of behavior. And I think Tim's a guy that I never have to worry. I don't lose a night's sleep worrying about, is Tim going to do this or not? I can count on that. Tim can be counted to demonstrate strong character and demonstrate to do the right thing when asked to, and even when you're not looking. So that's why I love him so much. He's a great character kid.
Yeah, I thought he really made a name for himself at that camp a couple of weekends ago, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Coach, when you think about some other guys from Sehome, guys that we should know about, maybe guys that aren't really household names. I mean, you guys lose some guys off of last year's squad. Who are some of the guys that people watching or listening should know about?
Well, we do, yeah. But I think that obviously, Cap, great arm. Great leader quarterback. I think Colin Dorsch, our strong safety, and running back, another very underrated kid who can do a lot of things for us and can be dangerous in space, fills the alley, that's sort of very, very well. I think that, it's going to be a fun group of kids to work with, I think, in so many places. I'm trying to think of other names right now off the top of my head. Up front, I think, we have some size in places, some athleticism. We have, big, Ortega, big, long arms, length, size, athleticism. He on both sides of the ball is going to be just a real handful for most teams.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to see what Caleb Ryan does as well on both sides of the ball. He's a player that has gotten me looking at him and just saying, wow, kind of this, like, I don't want to say unlimited potential, but he has a lot of potential, and he's played very well so far.
Caleb possesses a lot of skills and a lot of ability, and it's just, you're right. He again, another great kid in the classroom, another great character kid as well. So I mean, he's privileged to have in the program.
I was gonna take it back a little bit to your high school days, and when I was looking at the numbers, I was looking at your senior year. You guys threw the ball an awful lot, especially compared to what most teams were doing around the league. But it was kind of a split at quarterback. Was there an injury, or did you guys just kind of go back and forth throughout the year?
No, I think John came in with a split back sets, and I think he had two quarterbacks, and Doug Erickson and Steve McBee that could both throw the football. I think both possessed a kind of unique skill set. I think Doug was maybe more of a pocket passer. Steve might have been a bit more of an athletic running quarterback at times, but both had strong arms and could throw the ball, and I think he used them kind of, maybe he felt he might have had a hot hand a given night, or he had a better week of practice, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's always an interesting thing. And you've seen, Linden has done that recently. I've always thought that it'd be an interesting concept at the high school level if you have two kids like that and you go shotgun with both of them back there. And if both can run, they can both throw. You don't know who's getting the ball. At the high school level, that could screw up a lot of defenses. And so I just didn't know. I mean, I haven't seen film of those days, and I just see the numbers, and you were there. So I was just curious of how that worked out. It's pretty interesting.
That's Tyler's way of asking if you have VHS tapes from back then that you could loan to him.
At some point in time, I did have some, but I'm not sure where they're at anymore. In my lock.
Yeah, they're hard to find, man.
Tyler, what else you got?
Well, I mean, that was about it. I was going to ask, about obviously about your son coaching against your sons. Cade and Davin, the last 2 years you've coached against Mount Baker. I know you've been asked the question a zillion times, but you're not, they're not on the schedule anymore, but you did coach against them the last 2 years. That's just got to be such a unique experience for you.
Yeah, unique is that's definitely unique. It was very challenging, and they got the best of our program both years. So I have to kind of give it to them for that. Give Coach Lepper, they did a great job in that. But, it was different, but I feel blessed in the sense that I was able to separate myself from those connections on game week and during the game enough to still do my job. And then also after the game, give them big hugs. So,
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Tell me this, Coach, leading up to the game, did you happen to maybe like grab their computers and like log into their huddle real quick just to take a look behind the scenes?
Well, after seeing so many years of scouting reports from Coach Lepp and Coach Horstman, I think that one thing you can count on is that not much changes. They'll make in-game adjustments, but I think they are what they are. I don't think you're going to find anything necessarily earth-shattering in a week of preparation. That's who they are.
Well, and I guess you mentioned they got the best of you both times. So if you did get an inside look, it didn't work out too well. Was there a lot of trash talk after the game? Back home.
No, I think the little smirky grins I got from both of them without saying anything probably said more than whatever they could hope to say verbally. So, yeah.
Coach, you played at Sehome, played at Western. You're lifelong Bellingham guy here, really, for the most part. Tell me this: is Boomer's the best burger in the county?
If I'm looking for a straight burger with waffle fries, I go to Boomer's.
I do love their waffle fries.
I do. Waffle fries are nice. Sweet potato fries are nice also, but I let me get them there. But waffles are nice.
Okay, so if you were going to get a burger, where are you going, Coach?
Well, I may not get a burger actually. I may go Philly steak here.
Oh, yeah, I got a text from you a few days ago about a Philly cheesesteak. All right, so now, is that the best Philly cheesesteak? I can't remember the name of the place, but is that the best one in Whatcom?
That's one that I found. Yeah, 3 flavors there in Everson. It's wonderful, and the garlic fries are real good. You don't build something like this without putting some effort into it. So it takes some time.
Hey, it takes a lot of work to get something like that, Coach. So tell me this then. You send me text messages about food quite a bit. We talk more football than we do food, but we do talk food here or there. So tell me this. If everything in Whatcom County shut down, there was only one food spot for you to eat at, where are you going?
Oh, that's a tough one. One food spot to go, everything's shut down. Ooh, I don't want to sound repetitive, but 3 Flavors has 3 very distinct menus and offers a variety of having the traditional American grill, the Hispanic menu, and then also some Italian dishes. I mean, the variety alone says, I'll go right there and be happy.
I can tell you this much. Gordon Ramsay would not like that menu, but you know who would? Ryland Spencer. And that's what really matters. But you got 3 of them like that. That's a really good one. Coach, here's a question for you. When you look at over your playing career, anywhere coaching career, if you could coach a game in one place other than Civic Stadium, where would you want to coach a game, based upon your experiences at that place before?
That's a good question.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. I just I'm going to go out to Tisdale Field, in Deming.
Nice. I like it, Coach.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? Tyler's the happiest guy in the world right now because you mentioned a place in Whatcom County. Like, obviously, Tyler is just giddy over there. I can see it in him. He's got that Cheez-It smile on him.
Oh, and that was my home field.
Yes.
It's a lot nicer now than it was when I was there. It was so crowned back then. I could only see the helmets like on the other side of the field.
Yeah. Tyler missed a lot of kicks at that field. Tyler missed kicks from every yard line you can imagine at that field. How about this one, Coach? If you can, obviously it's only been 3 years. If you could go back and redo a game, any game that you've coached, let's keep it to the high school, none of the youth stuff. If you go back and pick one game where you're like, I feel like we could have won that game. I know how we could have won that game. What game is it, and what would you do differently?
2018 at Liberty.
Yeah.
No question.
Was that after Archbishop Murphy?
Yes.
And what is it about that game, and why? Why would you pick that one?
Giving up the kickoff return for a touchdown early, and then turnovers. I think that it's a tight game as it was. I think there were some things that I wish I could have did differently as a head coach in preparation, and also just game night. So, yeah, that's a game I'd like a shot at. So
was that at Liberty, that game? Yeah, that's a pretty cool place to watch a game. You guys would have been there after they got the new home stands, so the big side of the field that wasn't always there. That used to be the visiting side.
Okay.
And that place, I've been there for quite a few games over the years. It's not too far from my house. That place is really tough to go into and win. I mean, it's cold, it's dark, the lights are not great. The stands are usually pretty good, and it seems like by about, I'd say 7:30, it's like a mist over the field, and everything is just wet. And it's one where, as a guy with a beard, you start like, it's wet, like no matter what. Like I didn't do anything. It's just wet, like that's a really cool place to watch a game though. Tyler, you got anything?
No, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that game. It was, they had it, and it was such a cool thing just to get to the state tournament. And it was, I felt so much pride just watching the game film of that game, because even though I knew that they came out on the short end, just to see how well they played against such a great team and how far they had come. Coach, you've just done a great job with that program, and I love being able to see you on the sidelines or in the booth or wherever you are at the time. And it's just I just want to thank you for, letting me come out to practice and just kind of do my thing and being there to answer questions when I need them, and staying on this call for an hour waiting for me to join you when I was having technical difficulties. So I really, really appreciate everything that you do with the program.
Well, Tyler, we certainly appreciate you and Ryland both. Your efforts to try and maintain a connection for our families and Whatcom County and beyond. Just the game of football, it means so much to us. And trust me when I say, I'm not blowing smoke when I say this, that any success that we enjoy as a program is much less the result of anything I can offer to the program, much more the work of the kids. The players make plays, and our staff, they're the ones that put in so much time and so much work. And that comes straight from my heart, though. I'm blessed to have, I was surrounded by great people.
Tyler, before we get going, we got to do two things. One, can you do me a favor, and can you point at Sehome there on your banner like we do, it seems like every week now?
Right there. Can you see that okay?
Yeah. So the furthest south of them all would be Sehome.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's Sehome right there. The other thing we want to do, and this isn't a Sehome thing, but we have a big fan that literally watches everything, apparently. So this was brought to my attention. I didn't know anything about it. We get a lot of clicks and stuff, Tyler, but Maury Hanna is Javensky Schlenbaker's grandfather, I believe, right? Yes. Yep. And we wanted to give a shout out to Maury Hanna, and we want to do this because I want to see if Maury Hanna is listening this far into what we do. If not, everybody's been lying to me. I don't like that. So we're gonna say, Maury Hanna, if you're listening to this right now, you need to comment somewhere so that we can see it and that we know that you do actually listen. Because as of right now, I just don't know. But let's wrap it up there, Tyler. This is the shortest one of them all, but I think this one kind of had a what's the word I'm looking for? Very much straight to the point. I like it. You know what I mean? And after having to wait for Tyler for about 6 hours to get on the Zoom call, we're good to go. Tyler's actually using his phone tonight.
I couldn't tried 2 different computers, and it was not going right. And I got so frustrated that I haven't been this frustrated in a long time.
And
I almost stopped WhatcomPreps.com altogether, just tear down the banner. But Coach, I have too much love for you, man. I had to find a way.
You know, Tyler, about 2 years ago, we wouldn't have even been able to do this because your phone wouldn't have even supported what it is we're trying to do.
No, my flip phone would not have worked on this. But thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that's very, very, very true.
All right, well, let's wrap it up there. WhatcomPreps.com, Tyler Anderson. Check the upper corner. By the way, I saw Sehome was playing the other day. Who were they playing, Tyler? Do you know?
I think it was playing against Meridian on the virtual season there.
Yes, that's who it was. I was watching that game. Whoa, now we're looking at Tyler stealing. I was watching that game, and somebody took the ball for a big carry. It might have been Colin Dorsch. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, but that stuff is so cool. I don't know why I get stuck watching that stuff so much. I just do. I turn it on, and all of a sudden I'm watching a game, and like 45 minutes later, I'm like, why am I watching this? But it's just so cool, Tyler. Anyway, WhatcomPreps.com, upper left-hand corner, 2020 virtual season, or visit History of Whatcom County High School Football on Facebook. I'm Ryland Spencer, CascadiaPreps.com. Tyler Anderson, WhatcomPreps.com. Head coach Kevin Beason from Sehome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.